Today, we're going to continue working on subtraction. We're going to work on subtracting across zeros. Notice the snowy mittens and hat. It's perfect for today. We're supposed to get 3 inches of snow. Let's start with a warm-up. I love math puzzles, and I know you do too. Let's look at this. It feels like a lot. We've got some balanced equations. We have some unknowns. Wow, what to do? Well, let's break it down so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Well, the first thing we saw was 78 minus a snowman. Then we have an equal sign, and to the right of the equal sign, we have 23 plus 19. What does your brain want to solve for first? The left of the equation or the right? Think about what you know. Well, we know this part. We know this part. So I feel like our brains are telling us, let's add those two parts together. Can you do it on your dry erase board for me? Wonderful. If you need a little extra time, pause the video. Now, we have to solve for the snowman. Well, 78 minus our unknown snowman equals what the two parts to the right add up to. Pause and try to solve it. Welcome back, friends. Now that you've figured out our unknown snowman and its value, you're going to think about the value, and you have to subtract our friend Ricky Raccoon to equal 19. So think about what that could be and how you can solve for it. There's lots of methods that you can do. Wonderful job. Hold up your work. What hard work you've done. I love it. I see lots of different ways that friends solved it. The important thing to do is to try your best. Can you hold it up so you can take a selfie with your work? Great job. If you're doing this as a review, feel free to share it with us. Send it a picture to the teachers. We love to see hard work. All right, so let's review. Some of you might have different answers. Let's think about where we started. Well, we started by adding the two known parts together. When we added them together, we knew that 23 plus 19 equaled 42. So that had to help us figure out what the snowman would be. So we know that 78 minus something equals 42. So some of my friends might have set up their problem like this. I did see it during the selfies, where they had to figure the unknown part out. Other friends had a different method. I put M2 for method 2. They knew the whole was 78, and they subtracted the known part to find out what the missing part was. Some of our friends put the numbers on a number line and worked backwards. Did anybody do a different method that you would like to share? Great! Thanks for sharing. So now that we know the value of the snowman, his value is 36, we have to subtract something, some number, to equal 19. Friends did different methods. I saw an awful lot of them in the Google Meet windows as you worked super hard. Some friends did similar methods to what we did before. Raise your hand if you prefer method 1. Great. Raise your hand if you prefer method 2. Wow. You know it. Raise your hand if you prefer method 3. Great. And share if there's a different method you used. So we subtracted 36, we subtracted 17. So the value of Ricky Raccoon was 17. So now we are going to practice subtracting from numbers with zeros. And we're going to use base 10 objects and a place value chart. But before we start this, I did hear one other method that I wanted to share. One of my friends was not sure how to do it, so they used guess and check. So I thought that was another method that I should have mentioned earlier. So thanks for sharing. So let's look at this. We're going to subtract numbers with zeros using base 10 objects. I wonder what those base 10 objects are going to be. We use lots of objects. Sometimes we use base 10 blocks. Sometimes we use Unifix cubes. Sometimes we use gumdrops. Did you know gumdrops were going to be our manipulative of choice today? So we have, guess how many? Say it loud. Yes, we have 400 gumdrops. Now we've got to figure out, I see a subtraction symbol there. So we're going to be subtracting 123. Well, I can see some of your faces. You're looking and saying, oh my goodness, we have no ones in the ones place. We have no tens. How are we going to do that? Wait, what? Oh, you think regroup? Give me a little thumbs up if you agree with your friend that you think we're going to regroup. Great, we're going to be regrouping from the hundreds. So I want you to look. We're going to take 100 and we're going to move it to the tens place. So that's what we call it, regrouping. We're taking it from one group and we're putting it into another group. So think about what you know about 100. How many tens are in 100? Show me with your fingers. Fantastic. There are 10 tens that equal 100. So 100 equals 10 tens. So wait a minute. We don't have 400 the way we started with. We now have 400 as 300, 300s, and 10 tens. Some of you are saying, we aren't done yet. I see you shaking. You're saying, wait, we still have to regroup, right? So where can we get gumdrops for our ones place? You're right. We're going to move over 110. And we know 110 equals how many ones? Right, 110 equals 10 ones. So now, how many tens do we have in the tens place? You're right, we only have 9 tens now. And we regrouped 1, 10, so we have 10 ones. Great. Do we still have 400? Shake your head yes if you think we still have a 400. Shake your head no if you don't. Well, 300 plus 90 plus 10 equal 400. We are just representing 400 in a different way. Wonderful. So let's look in the tens place on our place value chart. We have 10 ones, and if we were to subtract 3 gummy bears, we would be left with 7 gummy bears, or gumdrops. I don't know. How do you all say that? I say gumdrops, although I do prefer gummy bears. All right, so let's go into the tens place. You're right, we have 9 tens. We have to minus 2 tens. How many tens are left? 7 tens are left. And we know that 7 tens have a value of 70. We have, look at the hundreds chart, the hundreds place. It's the pink, and it's saying we have 3 hundreds. We take away 100, and we're left with 200. All right, so let's check. Initially, we had 400, and we subtracted 123. So when we add, we're going to use addition to help us with our subtraction. So we're going to add our two parts. We know that 277 plus 123 should add up to 400 if we did our subtraction with regrouping correctly. We might not have. It is a brand new concept, and we might have made a mistake, so that's fine. That's why we do the check part. The check just makes us double check our work so that we feel like, we really got the regrouping across zeros. So when we add 7 ones plus 3 ones, we make a 10. So we have 0 in the ones place, and we're going to put that special 10 that we regrouped. Oops. Now we've got 1 10 plus 7 tens plus 2 tens equals 10 tens, and we know that 10 tens have a value of 100. So we put that digit 1 in the hundreds place because it's valued at 100. 100 plus 200 plus 100? Yes, you're right. It's 400. Now it's your turn. You'll need your markers and your dry erase board, and I'm sure it's close by in your math toolkit. So hurry and scurry and get those. If you have to pause this video, you may. If you really can't find your markers or dry erase board, pen or paper will do. Anything that will get you working on your math will be brilliant. All right, we're going to subtract using base 10 manipulatives and your place value chart to regroup hundreds and tens. Let's see what our base 10 manipulative will be. Oh, goody gumdrops. How many gumdrops do you see? Wonderful. Write it down on your paper. And we're going to be subtracting 354. So you can pause this video and work on this problem. But as you work on the problem, think about what we just learned. Think about what you already know from previous lessons with regrouping ones and tens. And visualize your math. Think about these gumdrops. All right, good luck. Try your best. Welcome back. Your time's up. If you can show me your work, that would be fantastic, because we really value hard work at Clinton Elementary School. Wow, look at all that work that you've done. I see place value charts. I've even seen people draw their own numbers. Well done. So now it's time for you to review your work. Notice the U is underlined. You are very important in your learning. You are the one who does the learning. So as we review this, if you've made a mistake, that's okay. That's where learning's happening. But you want to say, what did I misunderstand as we go through this? Okay? So now it's the time where you're the teacher of your own work. So let's continue. Okay, you're about to correct your own work. So we all started with our whole of 600, and we were subtracting 354. We knew we needed to get some ones in the ones place, and we knew we had to get some tens in the tens place. So we moved 100 over to the tens. And what do we know? Show me with your fingers. How many tens make up 100? Super. 10 tens equal 100. You can even count them if you wanted to. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 to make sure we have 100. So your problem should look like this now. We only have 500 in the hundreds place. So we want to put a 5 there. And we want to put a 1 next to our 0 because we know we have 10 tens in the tens place. Does your problem look like that? All right. So we still don't have any 1s in the ones place. So that's where regrouping happens. We move 1 10 over to the ones place. And we know that 1 10 equals 10 ones. So now we have 10 ones in the tens place, and we have 9 tens in the tens place. So we want to represent it that way. So does your problem match the gumdrops? Do you have 5 hundreds, 9 tens, and 10 ones? Good. Then we can do our subtraction. And some of my friends even drew images of hundreds, tens, and ones to help them. Good job. Great. So the answer would have been 246. Now you want to check your work. You can pause it while you check. Now, let's practice more. Sometimes we call it a show what you know. Sometimes we call it an exit slip. But you are going to solve these two problems. Now, if you're at a Clinton class, you are going to look in your Canvas. You might be doing these two problems in Seesaw or on Canvas. It's up to your teachers. Maybe you got this video from a friend. You might just want to solve these two problems on a piece of paper. It's up to you. So let me see your answer when we're through. Well, thank you all for being so wonderful today and going on the journey of subtraction across zeros. Now, it's time for your independent work. In your workbook, you will see the pages on your Canvas and you will work with your paper and your pencil wherever your learning space is at home. This is just an example of what you'll be doing. You'll be doing problems 1, 2, and 3. But enjoy. Again, thank you for doing this journey with me. You're awesome.